When
No,
you do
let's
it,
get
but that
on
will
to
be
something
Zoom
better.
101.
Let's get to something better.
Yeah. All right. So welcome, everybody. We are going to do apps and sites, and this is the beginning of Jay Cermak teaching you all about apps and sites. I probably don't even have to say who Jay is. He can tell you all this stuff. I'm so happy he's back. He left us for a little while and took off for Arizona, and now he's back. So excited about it. Jay, take it away. It's all yours, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jay Cermak. I'm actively right now the productivity coach in Fort Lauderdale with Keller Williams Fort Lauderdale. I have been a team leader. I've been a director of tech. I've done a lot of roles. So what we want to cover today is the power of your app and website and how you're going to set those up. So you should be able to walk out of this session with a better understanding of the technology you have and how to set those things up and make enhancements along the way. So how many, if anyone wants to raise their hand, how many of you have actually used the technology or used the app, at least for the three on the camera? Anyone? All right, so we got a little bit of people. Here's what I find though. I tend to be one of the few experts in it, and everyone I ask questions about, they're like, I didn't know it could do that. I didn't know it could do that. So that's why I wanted to show you some of what it can do, because I think if you feel more confident about the product, you're more likely to share it with everybody you know. And there's a lot of great things this app can do. So the unique thing is, the first thing to understand is our app does things that Zillow can't do. Our app does things that none of your competitors can do. There's a couple highlights on it. The biggest one is going to be really the consumer experience, by the way, and the fact that if you shared it with your friends and family, doesn't matter where they live, any home they look at will only contact you. If I use Zillow's app, I end up getting spammed and called by 16 other realtors, right? So our job isn't to badmouth another app, it's to show them what our app can do. So can everyone see the app on the screen right now? Yeah. You might see some special features, by the way. I'm in labs, so if it gets out, don't tell them I shared it with you. However, most of what I'm going to share with you works today. So the biggest thing is you notice the app comes up with the search bar, right? Now, every app can search today, but the big difference is, can my app, what can that search do that no one else can do? So hold on, let me put do not disturb on. Now, here's some cool things that it can do. First off is, if I hit my GPS, so you'll see the little arrow in the upper corner, and it zooms in, you're going to start noticing some little blue squares and shapes with names in it, neighborhoods. Now, we're the only company today that has an app that searches by neighborhood, not your MLS, not Zillow, not Realtor.com. The reason is we just now started caring about neighborhoods as an industry, right? If you've been in the MLS, I know in Fort Lauderdale, when I'm in the MLS, there are 6 names for the same neighborhood. They're not the same, like adjacent this and a hyperlink this and a dash or whatever, right? So it's hard for a consumer to search by neighborhood, but it's one of the biggest things they want. No one says, I can't wait to live in all of Fort Lauderdale. I can't wait to live in a zip code. No, they want to live in a street, in a neighborhood that they want to be part of. So I love that this is built in, and you see here, it's not just what's in your area. So I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and when I zoom in on my map, you'll notice I've got a couple neighborhoods near me. So right now, the one next to me is the landings. So if I didn't know anything about the landings, what information could I find out quickly right from the app? Well, clicking here, I see a map. When I come in, I see some market data. So it's telling me the average home price is around $485,000 in this neighborhood. Now, again, it didn't ask me single family home or condo. So it is going to be more of a generalized number for now until they give me a filter that says single family home only versus condo. There's a lot of condos mixed in there as well. The sold data, but the biggest thing, like, what do people say about living here? It's a good luxury community. Great for networking, vehicle enthusiasts. We have shopping, trendy eats, humanitarian, great for moviegoers, right? What do people say about living here? By the way, this feature, in addition to the neighborhoods, isn't on your competitors' apps. By the way, if I'm logged into my account, how far is this from my office? So we have a new office here in Fort Lauderdale. I am 4 minutes from my office. I can also bike here in 3 minutes, and I can walk in about 10 minutes to my location. Now, this only works if your consumers sign up for the app, register, it's linked to you, and they tell the app, here's my work, here's my school, here's the places that matter to me then every home they look at in every neighborhood is going to tell them how close they are to something. Now, I have the ability down below nearby schools. Now, every app today tends to tell you what schools are and what the rankings are. One unique thing that we have is student to teacher ratios. So Pompano Beach Middle School has about 17 students for every one teacher. That might matter to someone to see, hey, what's some of that information I could get? Now, if I keep going down farther, my favorite feature of the neighborhoods, Yelp. So if I'm moving to Florida and I don't know anything about the area, what do they tend to ask you? Where's the best place to live? Where are the trendy places to eat? Where do people like to live? What do they like to do? What do they say about the area? Now, the only thing they ask me for that's not on here, crime. But you shouldn't be answering crime questions anyways. You should refer them to a local police station because their definition of a crime may not be the same as mine, and I don't want to get in trouble for steering them one way or the other, right? But this has already got all that information in. So I think the best feature this app has is just letting them explore South Florida, where you guys are, by just coming to this map and start looking around what things are nearby. By the way, here are the other homes for sale, including what's pending, what other things are nearby. You can see there's a lot of condos where I am right now in that neighborhood. And this was all built in without me doing anything but clicking a little button and seeing what area. So the cool thing is, if I start getting more comfortable with this, I'm more likely to let others know about it, and then they're going to use the app as well. This is what excites me about this, though, is down below I have all these icons, right? So we talked neighborhoods really quick. I've also got a news feed. Now, this is the sneak peek, by the way. Don't tell anyone. We're starting to build this whole feed guide, like your estimated home value, your home equity. We're literally labbing this as we speak today. And this is going to allow them. Here's a preview of what this feed could look like when they start giving you things that they're interested in. It's going to let me know what are the market things doing in my area. Come on. It's going to start telling me things of the price per square footage, the city price per square footage, the interest rates, all kinds of things, my estimated mortgage payments. Now I'm in a preview mode, so it allows them to personalize it themselves. So what would it look like one day if my app became like an Amazon experience, right? I go to Amazon and I see the things I care about, not everything for sale and not everything I want. That's what this app can do. And that's one of the things we're testing. The biggest thing people tell us, though, is I'm buying a home with you or selling a home. And my number one question is, what's next? Now, what do I do? Well, here's where the power of the guides that are built in come in. So inside of your app, when they register for an account, every app starts off with a basic generic buying guide and selling guide that you get to customize. So I'll show you today where you can go to customize these, but there are things here under the buying guide, like we start our search. Your first step is start a search. They click it, they get more information. So now my buying and selling listing presentations don't have to just be paper. I can leverage the app to do the heavy lifting. What things can you afford? Well, we have Keller Mortgage and a built-in affordability calculator now. So they can start getting an idea of how much of a mortgage could I afford. By the way, are you pre-approved? Click this button. Hey, you could save 10,000 or save thousands with Keller Mortgage, all built into the app, by the way. I didn't have to add anything to this. Now, it doesn't mean we don't still use our vendor partners and people we have a relationship with, but it's built in. Notice there's a checkbox next to the get pre-approved because the client was able to come in and mark completed. So I'm able to actually start giving this experience. Then we're going to tour homes, make an offer, execute the contract, home inspection. Hey, wait, home insurance. Hey, you could shop around for home insurance quotes. All within this consumer experience, home warranty, and then the close. So you can start adding things to this. By the way, I like the fact about, hey, Mr. Seller, I can't wait to sell your home. By the way, let's work together. Usually you're curious what's happening in your neighborhood, right? What homes are selling, what's going on, is there a new listing nearby? Well, let's leverage the app to do that. By the way, we're going to have the selling process say we're going to show your home, view offers, right? Congratulations, you have an offer. Here's the process, all built into this app. Home inspection comes next, then an appraisal, and then close. So that's just an example of how these are already built in to give them that experience that they're not getting anywhere else. Now, they've always got the ability to save things too, right? Hey, what are the recent things you care about? So you can save your own collections of things that you want, create your own saved search, just like you can somewhere else. and even start looking at neighborhoods that you follow, all from within this app. And under the More button, that's where you're going to see your branding. Yep, great question. I was going to get there right now, Tom. So he's wondering, how do I share my app? Well, it's under the More button where I am right now. And then when you're looking down below, there's a couple options here. If you scroll right down the bottom of the screen, here is share an app. When I click share my app, it's going to say, how do you want to share this? By text message, phone, email, what's the best way? This is the power of it. So now if I'm meeting somebody for the first time or meeting with my client, I can say, hey, would it be okay if I share my app with you? Let me show what it can do. Would you like a copy of it? Great. Share the app, click share the app button under More, and then I can text it to somebody. And in that text message is going to have the link. I use this app to search for homes with my agent, Jay Cermak. Download it now. What's cool about that is if I had shared it with a friend, let's say my family has this app right now. If they hit the share app button, it will tell them to download Jay's app with everybody. So now all of a sudden, the people I'm in business with become my marketing team. They can tell others about this app and share that experience. There is a trick with that, Bryant. Sometimes it's staying branded to you. Sometimes right now it is not branding, it's saying choose your agent. So here's what I tend to do. If I were sharing it with you, I'd be like, hey, Bryant, let me share this app with you. I'll hit the share button and make sure you download it while we're together. Hey, why don't you go ahead and sign up for an account while we're here? And in the event the app says, please sign in and choose your agent, I'll just guide them to choose their agent. If I click on the More button and I see my name at the top that says your agent, I know we're good to go. So it's kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's okay. So you're shaking your head no, not a big deal for now. We're going to fix it. So all you have to do is say, hey, I just want to make sure you get the best experience possible. So when you download the app, in the event the box says find your agent, just type my name in, here it is, select the agent, and now it's branded to you. And then they never have to do it again. So it's supposed to do it automatically. And I find it's kind of 50-50. Some agents share it like me and I have no problem. The next person downloads it, it's instantly branded to me and they didn't have to do anything. Yet some newer agents said they hit share and the app itself said find your agent. So just tell the client that they might have to find their agent one time and then you never have to do it again, right? It's just a process. By the way, if I download the Zillow app, guess what it says? Please sign in. What's an account? Do you have a person you're working with? Same experience. The difference is I want to be in control of everything they're doing. And we can work together. So Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, when we work together, here's what I love about this. You and I are going to be collaborating. And I'm going to leverage this technology to be in business with you. So if you want to look at what homes are for sale, you can look around at them and stay in touch with your neighborhood. So if you're selling your home in Knoll Ridge, you can quickly see the competition on the same street. So if that one at 525 is your home, you can quickly pull up the one down the street that's asking 598. You can look at the one that's asking 660 and the one that's 795 and get informed about what's happening. Exactly, Edwin, right? Bye-bye realtor.com, because we're not used to this app, so we don't tell the people about it. Now they're going to choose the app they want, and I'm okay with it. I can't tell you don't use realtor.com, don't use Zillow. They have a confidence in that app. We haven't earned that right yet. Here's the good news. Let me ask you, Mr. Buyer, do you like saving money? They always say yes, by the way. So here's a home. If I were to click on this listing and look at it, now it is pending, don't worry. Here's the data about it. I can see the photos, which is what they love to do. Here's the information, but wait a minute, what does it say there? Save up to $5,140 in your next home. Cha-ching. There's built-in savings inside the app. So now I let them know, hey, I'm glad that you're an informed consumer. I'm okay if you want to use Zillow, just call me, because otherwise you're probably going to hit a button and get calls from 16 different agents. Is that what you want? No, you hired me, correct? Great. I can't wait to work with you. However, by the way, there's another way to search. Do you care about neighborhoods? Awesome. Let me show you how my app finds neighborhoods. Do you care about saving money? Awesome. Let me share with you how my app can build savings right off the bat. And every home you look at has a different number, by the way. And if they click it, it's going to take them to the Keller mortgage process and look at whose agent's at the bottom of the screen. Jay Cermak. If they get a loan through Keller Mortgage, guess who gets updated? Me. My own mom just went through the refinancing, and she would be baffled because I would call her saying, congratulations, mom, you moved on to the next step. She's like, how did you know? I said, Keller Mortgage told me. I was informed the entire step of the way what was happening with your process. Now, she was both freaked out and excited about it, but I didn't explain to her what would happen when she clicked it. By the way, do you need to save money on home insurance? Look right there, save up to 30% on home insurance. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have a home insurance person. It doesn't mean in-house I have Supreme Lending as well. But again, no mortgage company, by the way, has 100% market share. My in-house lender has 25% market share, meaning there's room for 3 other lenders in addition to them on my repertoire of people I recommend. So good news is now I recommend Supreme, and Keller Mortgage is already built into my technology. By the way, they'll do the normal information. What else is listed here? Here's details about the home. There's a little more information about that neighborhood, plus a new option to get directions and see even a satellite view. That's a new feature. This I don't think is in the live version. So if you don't have it yet, remember you're seeing the demo of something I'm labbing right now. Like Ryan, he and I are both building this technology with your feedback and sending that feedback over to Keller Williams. What people say about living here, walkability score matters, right? How far does it take me to walk somewhere? The directions again, so this is on every listing. How far would this house be from my home or from my work? The schools like we just talked about, and then a built-in mortgage payment down below. So right now, if I were putting 20% down, my payments would be around $2,500 a month. But here's the good news. I can click this and say, you know what? I just want to do a financing for 5%. Hit apply. My mortgage rate is less than 4% right now. Maybe it's 3.75. Hit apply, and I can change those numbers on every home I'm looking at just to get a better ballpark. By the way, it reminds them again, they can save money on this home, and Keller covered. Soon, property tax data is coming. It's not here yet, but we're building more and more information in. And then here are the other properties nearby. So hopefully just seeing a little bit of this preview, you're starting to get an idea of how you can use this app. And by the way, the website is the same thing. So when I show you my version of the website, you're going to go, whoa, that's a lot of the same features I saw in the app because they're the same product. So if I'm registered on the app and then I go to a computer and I sign into your website, the two are the same thing. So I'll see the things that I favorited, the things that I'm following, the savings, all built in the same product. And I love that because normally we have this. Most of these features are live now, Paula. The only thing that wasn't live yet would be some of that tax information I showed, and the Keller Mortgage works today. That we've been testing out for a couple of years. The only other thing that would be the map itself when it came to neighborhood. This little section here, that's the only part that's missing. Everything else I've shown you is here. It's live today.
Thank you.
No, great question, right?
I watch you on YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said I watch you on YouTube.
There we go. My celebrity status follows us again, Ryan. Awesome. No, I love this. Yeah, and you already got feedback from someone you just sent it to. I love it, Edwin. Here's the thing, guys. We're still labbing this. Get the feedback, right? Let your tech director in your market center or your tech person there know if it's a major issue, right? We have the ability to contact Ryan and he can get us to tech tier 2 tech support, right? We have a labs board to start letting people know ideas we'd love to see in here. So there's a lot of cool things coming. That's just the basic. My other favorite feature, do we have people that might be having kids going off to college soon, even though we're in a pandemic? Here's a good scenario that happens. My kids got accepted to Ohio State University. They need to move there. I'm thinking about buying them an investment property near the school. What's for sale? Well, here's the good news. I'm in Florida. I can connect them with an agent in Columbus, and my app can do the search for them. So watch, I'm going to type in search Ohio State Stadium. And if you're wondering why I'm searching for that, I lived there for 12 years. So that's how I just happen to know it. I also do this example with the White House. It searches by that. So we have the app ability to search by landmark. And my favorite isn't just search by landmark. See how it looks like a little gray shape? Like what am I looking at? Click the more button and go to map. And if I chose satellite, here's the cool thing. There's Ohio State Stadium. I can even zoom in enough, and I believe I can get pretty close to the seat numbers. So now if I were to zoom out a little bit, what neighborhoods are nearby that I don't know about yet? So again, an area I've lived in, but I don't know everything. I can come here and start seeing, hey, what are some good investment places to live near the school? Well, here's some stuff in Clintonville. There's old North Columbus. Here's an investment property in Sohud for $250,000. Hey, it's 4 bedrooms. I bet I can buy that for my son or daughter. We can rent it out with their roommates, get them roommates for it, and then have it a place to live and have it paid for. Cool thing is, who does it say your agent is on this? Me. And if they were to say, ask your agent questions, well, it's going to come to me. And if they were to schedule a video tour, now I know I'm not there, by the way, that's okay. I let them know you can search for real estate anywhere. And if you find a home you're looking for, I would be honored to interview that agent for you to make sure they're in alignment with what I'm in alignment with. Hello, referral fees, right? So I can see there's a listing agent there and some information, but guess what? You're going to ask Jay for the advice, and then I'm going to go with command and go find that agent there. So that's just a little bit of what this app can do. There's even more. So I wanted to share that part of the app. Now I can actually share my screen.
With the stadium is awesome. I like to use Joe Robbie just because it's not called Joe Robbie, and it shows the power of that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, now I'm showing you my website, guys. This is the same product. So I will flip this. I think it's zoomed in. Hold on. Let me fix it. Okay. So this is my website. Same exact thing, but notice I'm not logged in yet. So my website is going to have some cool stuff in here. Some basic pages you all get, like a who am I, what about the company? Well, you'll notice my website has a bunch of more information. And by the way, I'm all about R&D, rip off and duplicate. If you like what I have, including my name and number, I'm happy to take the call. You're welcome to borrow any of it and put it on your website. So mine is jteamglobal.com, but it says jteamglobal.kw.com. I've got some logos here. I've got some images, but you'll see under my pages, I've got a lot of different stuff like different things around KW Worldwide. You notice I use the term JTeam Global because here was my aha. Yes, I'm licensed in Florida. I can connect you with anybody in the world. So why can't we all be global? My app can search for homes globally now, and even more as we keep building and growing more areas, right? If I can give you that experience, why can't I connect you? So I created a web page separate on my website that talks about KW Worldwide. And if you need me to connect you with an agent anywhere in the world, contact me. Just as an example. But here's what I wanted to show you. The website works normal, right? I can search by neighborhood. So we just pulled up a neighborhood of, I live in Coral Ridge Isles in Fort Lauderdale. And I can pull that neighborhood up and see the homes for sale here, the map like we talked about, and the information here. But notice there's no like buying and selling guide yet, but the app had that. Well, here's the trick. Log into your account and you will see it. So if I log into my account, I have a couple of them. So I'm going to try this one. If I can spell it correctly. Please don't write down my password or you're going to see a lot of funny searches on my search here. gmail.com, and it should be this password. Okay, so this is what your consumers are going to do. They're going to log in, and all of a sudden now it just became Jay's website, not me, the realtor, Jay, the consumer's website. Same information, neighborhoods, things that I can follow, but look at the top. Now I have a feed of things that we're working on together. Welcome to your feed. Get some updates. Save a search. Create a collection. This is the future of my Amazon, Netflix type experience. That guide I told you about is built in here. So now the app on their phone or the website, if they're on a computer, work together. If they like it on the computer, it shows up on the app. If they like it on the app, it shows up on the computer. So you saw this buyer guide. Now you'll notice this is my custom buying guide because the app, like I told you, I'm labbing right now. So you're seeing a more new version of this. Here are the things I added, right? Start your home search, we already talked about. Get pre-approved, we talked about it. Ooh, buyer consultation regarding Zoom. Due to COVID, we may not be able to meet in person all the time. Number one thing I added, by the way, sign the buyer brokerage agreement because most agents don't do that. So guess what? I added it on my checklist. What happens if your buyer says, hey, Jay, I got my pre-approval. It looks like our next step is to sign a buyer brokerage agreement. Now they're asking me for it. I don't have to remind them of it, right? We can tour the homes virtually or in person, all built in. Make an offer, execute the contract, right? We talked about some of these. maybe even a virtual closing now. Due to COVID, there might be some limitations on seeing homes. Now I know we're lightening up on stuff, but most of this is still relevant. How many people buy in South Florida that physically live here, and how many buy from out of the area? So guess what? We could do a Zoom consultation if you're remote. When you come into town, we've already done the buyer consultation and you've already signed the buyer brokerage agreement. We're ready to go see that home and put in an offer, right? We don't have to wait. I can leverage that technology to say a lot of that. Does that make sense? So I wanted to give you a preview of this to see, by the way, all those saved searches you saw on my app are here on the website too. So I will move my picture. I've got my saved searches that I have saved. So here they are. I can create my own. I've got collections, which is just a group of homes that I want to keep. So I've got some featured properties on my website, collections that I've made. I've also collaborated with someone so they can collaborate with you if you want to teach them that one day. By the way, my mom lives in Indiana in Greenfield, and these homes all sold that she was interested in finding. They're not for sale anymore, but they were for sale. And we used the app to look them up when she was asking me details, and I pulled it up in 5 seconds. And she's like, how did you know? I said, you got my app, why didn't you use it? Right? And then I've got my website here, all built in, all working together. Any neighborhoods I want to follow will live here. And it's the same experience, just in a different format. So that's a little bit of how this part works. Let me show you now. Let me get out of this full screen. I wanted to show you actually what you can do to command to set this up. So I'm in command right now, and everything I showed you, don't worry about password saving. Everything I showed you is actually stored under the consumer option. So I've got my options here, right? My contacts, all my little applets, but the big one we're doing is consumer. So consumer is going to include your website, your mobile app, and even what's called landing pages. The future of this is also collections. Like imagine if you can create a collection for your client or a collection of your listing and things and start managing that before they ever get your app, right? In here also is going to be your guide builder. I showed you those buying and selling guides. Well, guess what? Under guide builder, you can come in here today and customize your buying and selling guide. But it gets better because today it is one guide. Here's my buyer's guide. I can come in here and hit edit. Now, here's the trick. What looks like in the future when I have one buying guide for a veteran and a different buying guide for the first-time home buyer and a different buying guide for the luxury client? Isn't there eventually going to be a customized experience and different things that are needed and done? So start thinking now of what would that buying and selling experience look like working with you? Because today you all have the same experience, by the way, which is a step up from all your competitors. None of them have it. But if Ryan and I were going out for the same listing, how do I stand out against Ryan? We have the same app, we have the same thing. Well, then I'm going to customize my experience a little differently, which I'll show you really quick. Just since I'm here, my selling experience is different than yours because I didn't start with what they did, which is they started with, we're going to show homes. That's where the app started, by the way. So I added things because I wanted this to be a listing presentation too. So I added, we can do a virtual or in-person selling consultation. I added, you're going to sign the listing agreement. Thank you for choosing us. We're going to help you sell your home for top dollar with the least amount of hassle. Sounds like a script I've heard. Then we're going to do professional photography because today it's more important than ever to get people to come through the home. Oh, because of COVID, maybe we can't see the home physically. So guess what? When you hire me, we do a Matterport in every home because we know how important it is for the person to start feeling and touching around to get them to come into the home. By the way, I know marketing is important to you, Mr. Seller. So here's the good news. We're the only real estate company with a strategic partnership with Facebook. And I built that into my app, right? With over 2 billion, I think it's 2.2 now, active users a month. Facebook is one of the most effective strategies to promote your home. And I have an exclusive agreement that no other real estate company has with Facebook. I'd love to share with you how I maximize that. And then we get into things like virtually or physically showing your home, reviewing your offers, your inspection, your appraisal, and your closing. But do you see how I can take what was built and just enhance it to customize that experience? Now, we are talking about agent site pages, which is your website to get started, and how I can do things like my app and getting those things set up. So everything to set it up, if you haven't done it yet, is actually under site and app settings in the right-hand corner. Now, I want to make sure I'm respectful of time. We still have 10 plus minutes. I guess we can go a little over, right, Ryan? Since we started 5 minutes later. And as long as you're good with it, I'll show you quickly how to set them up. Now, here's what I've
the last
learned.
one of the day, so you're good.
Yeah, don't set up the app before you set up the website. I learned it doesn't work that way. The app and the website are the same product, but it seems like when you set up the website first, then the app works better with it side by side. So just put in your brain, if you haven't set this all up, and a lot of you might have, or you might have leveraged Scott Leroy or Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, or your tech person in-house might have set these things up for you to begin with. That's okay. But if you needed to, you can actually come in here under site and app settings, and there's an option here, learn more with Kelly Guides. When I click this, there are two choices. Which would you like to complete first? Notice it's in order, agent site, partially for alphabetical, but it is in the order I was telling you. Agent site means set up your agent site first. The consumer settings are for your app. So you would want to do the Kelly Guide for this one first. So I'm going to take you through the Kelly Guide, and if you're following along, feel free to click the button. By the way, there's some new features here. One of them is a guided tour. If you're like, I'm overwhelmed, what is this consumer section Jay told me about? If you click guided tour, who remembers the little paper clip in Microsoft Office that would pop up and say, hey, we kind of have that. Sometimes it's got Gary Keller's face next to it. So I call it like the bouncing Gary. So this just tells you, create a website, here's what to do. Click the next button, go here to make sure your branding's correct. Like there's a built-in mini guide right here. Your other best feature, the question mark in the upper corner. So we're talking today about the website and the app. If I click the question mark, this is going to pop out a little tray here. And if I go to the second one, Keller Williams University, every help article with step-by-step instructions exists here. So if I typed in consumer website, I believe it is, or I think it's consumer site. Nope, it doesn't like that. Website. If I type in website, that did not get me where I wanted to go, but at least you're seeing a bunch of stuff like here's edit agent site pages. This has now the step-by-step instructions with little icons and pictures and videos on how to go in and make changes or do something. So I leverage that a lot in here. I think it's just the word consumer now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to come in here and just type in consumer. There we go. Customize your consumer guide we just talked about, right? How to manage someone's guide, getting started with your consumer applet. There's the instructions. Log into agent.kb.com. Click the little consumer icon in the left-hand corner. Here's a picture of the navigation I was just showing you. Here's step one, and then there's little help articles built in. So I love that a lot of this step-by-step is there. And as somebody named, since we're here and they mentioned, I do have a YouTube channel as well. If you want to search for Jay Cermak, you will find my YouTube videos also. So I'm going to click on learn more with the Kelly Guide, and we're going to just do quickly the wizard for the agent site and then the consumer settings for your app. So again, we want to start with agent site. When we click continue, that's okay. I can leave this. I'm not making any changes. This is what a little Kelly Guide looks like, and I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. There we go. So really a Kelly Guide is, think of a wizard. It's just a wizard to take you through. And you're kind of seeing there's 3 steps really, right? Choose your subdomain, get some styling in here, and we're going to create some 3 pages to get started. Now there is up above the little subdomain choose, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is the what's next. So it's really 3 steps to set up your website. So I like that that's there, and I have to move you guys out of my way. Perfect. So I'm going to click on get started. When I go to get started, it is going to remind you compliance, mainly because Keller Williams International is not responsible for you to verify every state law. This just reminds you to make sure you've got your Market Center logo, that you include ownership on every page that just says each office independently owned and operated. You have to be compliant with your local board, right? Now we're in Florida, so good news for you. I'm in Florida too, and our laws are pretty lax on this. Doesn't need much. I know my board is big on team names is the one thing, but most of the stuff doesn't apply to us. And then you can click here if you need the Market Center logo. So you're just acknowledging this and saying, I get it. So step 1 is choosing your subdomain name. And when I say subdomain, it means you're actually on kdb.com, with your name. So you don't own this website. It's just a website for kw.com. I recommend you still buy your own website. So even though it says jteamglobal.kw.com, I own jteamglobal.com from Google Domains. It's $12 a year. I get a professional account. It's secure and private. Information isn't shared. And I leverage that to have my own branding because no one's going to remember jteamglobal.kw.com. They're going to remember jteamglobal.com. So I purchased that domain from Google Domains. In here, you're going to make sure your name makes sense, right? It could be jteamglobal.com. It could be jcermac.com. It could be the letter J with my last name.com, .kw.com. Whatever you want it to be, you get to choose as long as it's not taken. And if it is, it'll tell you. So I'm pretty sure if I said j.kw.com, it's probably taken by J Papasan. That's one thing you're choosing, just your domain. So you're going to choose a subdomain, and that's what is going to be at the address bar at the top. So just make sure it matches if you own a website. So if I had jsellsflorida.com, I would make this jsellsflorida.kw.com. Down below, I've got my marketing profile. Don't skip this. This is required. So that's going to be things like your name, which company and address are you with, your team or business name. I'm highlighting business name because your name could be J Cermak Realtor, could be my business entity. How are you labeling yourself? What is your job profile? Like, what is your job title, right? What are you known as? I prefer the title real estate consultant. How do we contact you? I use an email address I purchased with jteamglobal.com. I got it from Google Domains. So it's info@jteamglobal.com. So it matches. If it's jcermac@kw.com, then just put that there. Your office number, if it's required, and then your mobile phone number. Notice if it has a red asterisk, it's required. A little biography. Now think of this as your elevator pitch. This is not meant to be a 600-page autobiography. This little section is just a little bit about you. Your license number, compliance footer, notice it's not required. If you need your brokerage's license number, which I'm pretty sure in Florida we don't need it, but again, I am not your broker, so check with them. Typically your market center will know. And then any information you need below for legal footers. Fortunately for us in Florida, most of the legal footers we already have are good enough and you shouldn't need anything more. Then you're going to get to things like your picture, your market center logo, and your team logo. This is an example, by the way. I'm only saying it because a lot of people ask me why I put Royals Realtor down there. It didn't, it's an example. If you put a logo, the company logo's on the left and your team logo goes on the right. By the way, it doesn't need to be a team logo. What if you had a monogram branding of your name? It could be a cool letter J with a house behind it, and I can just put it there. So it's really like an image box. My recommendation, don't put your picture here, because it will look really weird at the bottom of the screen when it has your picture and a mini picture underneath it. And then don't put the office logo there because it'll duplicate itself. This should be a unique logo. Any social media links you have would go down below. And then the link to your app is here as well if you ever need to copy it. So step one was choosing our name of the website and then making sure our marketing information is correct. You also can go to settings in command and just update it there. So I'm going to say save and continue. You must claim your domain. I just have to reclaim it because it's making me. So I'll go to the top. Subdomain.
Jay, it's not going to let you. I took it.
Go ahead.
It's not going to let you. I took it.
There it goes. Okay, so now I'm on agent sites and I've got themes. Themes don't do anything. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Originally, it was going to change the KW logo from red to black. But now we changed the rules that KW logo becomes your office logo. So just ignore that part. But what does matter is the homepage text. So it says find your dream home, but you can change it, right? Find your home with Jay, love where you live, selling sunny Florida, whatever you want this box to say, it goes right above the search bar. And I think the most important thing to customize on your website is what's called a hero image. The home screen of your website is going to have this image, and we're in Florida, guys. Does that look like Florida to you? I see a bunch of weird rooftops and trees and not one palm tree. So that's probably not going to work. So you're going to want to put your own. So I made this one in designs. It's a collage of inside of homes and outside of homes and people living. I made this one in designs as well. This one I purchased for the beach. So I own this. I bought it from a website so that I had the rights to it. Another collage, and you can make up to 5 of these. Don't worry if you don't have them ready right now. You don't have to do it now. You can do it after. So I click save and continue. Congratulations. And the last page is really about setting up your website. Now I want to be mindful of time, so I'm going to go through this part a little bit faster. You can do some SEO, like search engine optimization here if you choose to put more information about you and your page. Now, instead of me going through how to create this page, I'll just show you the one that I've already done. It's got pieces of mine in here, but I'll go to my website and show you what the finished product would look like. So about J-Team Global, I took the About Us page to be about my team, but you can make it about Keller Williams or your market center. So I have a picture up above and a header that just says J-Team Global. Below that, I have a little intro about me. Our philosophy is simple, clients come first, right? Just a little bio I put together. I specialize in South Florida real estate, residential homes, waterfront. I wanted to put types of properties I deal with and what locations. And then this image I took at Lauderdale by the Sea. The second section, I put our beliefs with Keller Williams. I want to make sure this is here. And I got this image, which you can save off my website, which is just the Y4C2TES. And I wanted to highlight that as our beliefs because that's what I believe in. And I wanted people to come here if they click on it to see what I believe in. And the bottom section is about putting you first. And then I tied in some information about nobody sells more real estate in America than us. And that in South Florida, we are the #1 brokerage for Keller Williams down here. Just an idea. So as you see here, now that I've done that, the content of this page is a header at the top. Right? Below that's a paragraph, just an intro that you can write. Below that, we get to section 1. Section 1 is a photo, a headline, and a paragraph. I can upload my own image there. And then the second section was another section. So I said our beliefs, copy the Y4C2Ts, and then I would upload the image if I want there. A little footer and a paragraph. So I've already done this page. I'm going to click skip. Next would be an about me page. So this time it should be about Jay. And when I come to content, it's a couple little headers, right? Who are you? What's your title? So I'm a real estate consultant. A little bit about Jay. And then this one, you can write your longer biography. So if you want to spend a little bit more time, you can put more information here about you. How do they contact you? And then what's your phone number and email address? So it's really an about me page. That image came from the marketing profile we did at the beginning. So I'm skipping that one as well because I've already done it. The last one is a page about contact us. So instead of you contacting me, I'm having you contact my team. I copied again that intro paragraph. And by the way, if you like it, copy pieces of it, word it so it's about you. And there's even a little message hint. Are you looking to buy or sell? What's your time frame? What area you're looking in? What's your budget? It's kind of like a little hint of what they should type in here. My phone number and email address. I click save and continue, and that's it. My website would be done. Now it has some information to get more questions about it, go to site settings to manage this, or even create more extra web pages. So I'm going to click manage site just to come back to where we were. And then that's where you'll see your configured website here. You click the link and it will look with the customization like what I just showed you. Now I want to finish up with doing the same thing with site and app settings for your app. Now your app isn't as much settings. So when I come to learn more with Kelly Guide and I go to consumer setting, this is just making sure my app matches my website. So I'm going to click continue here. Are you sure? Yes. Now this guide says here's some education to start. So remember, that's not something to do, it's something to learn. Consumer settings is number 2. We're going to build our guide. We're going to activate a smart plan for our app so we can tell people about it and then share it with them. And then we're down to the what's next. So it's really 3 steps. So I can come down below to learn more about it, set up your app, customize your guide, and market it. So we're going to say get started. So number 1 is education. If you want to learn more about this, you can click here. But I've already done this, so I'm just clicking next. Number 2 is consumer settings. You're going to get a web page that if I wasn't on the app and I went to your website, can you tell me, click here to download the app? So if I click app download, it has a little text box, download for our free home search app, the link for the app, and this text code feature they took away, but it is here. If you see it, I don't think it's active right now because it doesn't show up on the live version anymore. Just to tell you, it may not be there, and that's okay. Because the better way is to share it from your app. So I'm going to click next. That was step one. Now they have a new option of featured websites. So now I can come in and turn on a featured website, which is what it took me to. So if you want on your homepage, I'll come back to my homepage. If you want to feature your listings or other listings, you can now activate this widget of listings you want showcased on your website. They could be yours, they could be your market center, or honestly, they can be anybody's website. So if you're just finding listings in your area, that's now an option. I'm going to go back to the guide because it kicked me out and just say skip on that part. So get started. We already did this. We already did our settings. Now I can say skip. Guide builder, right? So you're going to have a setup of the guide, an introduction, and then you're going to enable those guides like I said. So one of the settings is just congratulations on process of selling your home or buying a home. And it's your ability to come in here and customize that to choose which guide are you doing. So you're going to create two of these, a buyer guide and a seller guide. Now I've already done that, so I don't need to, but I'm just showing you if you set it up for the first time, it'll ask you to, and you can choose that. So if I said buyer guide, I'll have a next button here, your buying timeline guide. Check the message here, by the way. Sometimes it said like, congratulations on starting this process. I will do this, or this person will help you, or I might even put a name. I think it said Paul. Just make sure it's labeled correctly. And I also said, we're going to provide insights in each step. Due to COVID, there may be local restrictions regarding physical viewings and showings. I'm just warning them up front. So it's kind of like the intro message with them. Click the next button, and now I have a pre-built guide that you can customize. So I can come in here, change the steps, and even click here to rearrange them. Honestly, just set it up as it is and do the setting of changing it after. Save there. I've got my buyer guide. I'm going to add a guide now for the seller guide. Right? Same process. Click the next button. What are you calling it? Your selling guide timeline. Congratulations in the process of selling. I think it said I will help you. I changed it to say our team will be providing insights. And then that way we're going through. Again, you can add steps or remove steps from here. I believe it's easier outside of this guide. So just leave it as it is and click the next button. Great, those two guides are done. And the final step is just flipping the on switch to promote your app. This now adds a smart plan to your library to promote it. So the step one is an email that says get on-demand real estate information that will go out to the people that you add to this plan. Then it's going to get day two, a text message from you. Hey, this is so-and-so. Did you see that neighbor listed a home on your area? Download my app to check it out. Step three, after day 5, is another text of, did you know you can also see stats in your neighborhood? So it's just a 3-step smart plan that you can use. I click next and I'm done. The app says you're ready. So we covered a lot today. I will remind you that guide builder is still here. And I think it's easier to go directly to the guide builder if you want to add more steps and copy more steps. So we shared a lot, right? We've got the app, we've got our website, they work together. Any home we click on has the ability to save money with Keller Mortgage and other resources, which are live and all across America. Keller Mortgage is in 49 states, by the way. So I can have friends in Chicago come here and save money in Chicago and link it to me. I can have them shop for home insurance around town. I can have them learn and explore neighborhoods and see things. Oh, maybe this is live because my website's not fancy. So now there's a satellite button and a get directions button all built in. I love that. Right? I can give them this experience now by building the app and tying those things together. So thanks for staying a few minutes over. If anyone has any quick questions, I'll stay on a few more minutes to answer those, but hopefully you found value in this and you'll be a little more excited to go test it out, try the app out and share it with more people. Awesome. I saw a lot of chat, Ryan. Were there any crazy questions or good to know things?
Asking some questions like where do you get your photos from? I put on a free, of them on there.
Pixabay is
Pixabay and
good. I
Pixel.
use Shutterstock. Actually, right now, a lot of my pictures are coming from Designs in Command. So we have a library that KW has already purchased of all kinds of lifestyle photos and now some types of homes. The only thing that I think you have to buy, honestly, you guys live in a beautiful area. Take a nice picture with your phone. What I have to buy though is I'm not tall enough to give an aerial shot. So I might have to go buy a drone shot from someone, right? If you had a great listing and you hired a drone photographer, ask them to give you, can I buy the rights for some stock images, right? Will you go take a beautiful photo of that area nearby? Will you take a great photo of the community? And then you own those photos to be able to use on your websites. But honestly, I've been using the designs and just going to get clip art from there too, because that's already been paid for by KW and we have permission to use it. So I like that too.
Hey, Jay, do you got a second that you can maybe show how to make it do a lead capture for people looking to find the value of their home?
Yeah, there's a couple options with that. If I go to share my screen again here, so I'm going to share. What I like with that with landing pages, now there's two versions you can do. Well, there's actually three. One of mine I've done, and I'll show you one I already did. Home buying, let me see where I have it. Just to make it easier, leave Zillow. I must have taken it off here, but that's okay. I'll create one and show you. So if you want to create a landing page, like just contact me to find out the value of your home, right? Because here's the reality. Your estimates aren't accurate. I need to go in the home and see it. So if I were to come and create a new page under landing pages, you get two options. On my website would be things like this, right? What's physically on my website to teach me more information. And I do believe I have a, I might have taken it off. Home buying. I used to have on there, what's your home worth, but I'll add it back. So if I set a landing page there or on my website, so if it's on my website, I would do it here. That could be like, what's your home worth? I've also done like open house registration pages, and that would be a landing page outside my website. So I'll just do one. I'll do one of both really quick. So I'll create on my agent website and show you how this works. So you have some widgets on the right, agent branding, a branded header, a lead form, some legal information, and some listing information that you can add, including things like video and other stuff, and even some content blocks. So what I actually did for mine was, what's your home worth? This might be what I put in here. And here's what I did on the content blocks. I added an image so I can go get a picture from my computer. Let's just pretend for this example, I downloaded a picture. This is our work computer. I hope there's nothing crazy on here. Let's just pretend it is, usually don't go too wrong with like a red day photo. But the goal would be, let's say this image was what's your home worth kind of a graphic. So I can come here and add that image to my website. There we go. I've added an image. I can kind of shrink this down, would be step one for me. Now I've got the option to add a text box after. So the text box I might put in here, to get the most accurate value on your home, schedule an appointment with our listing specialist to come out and take a look. I'll get you a better example, Ryan, that you guys can share with everyone on the call after this. I had one really well done with listings to leads, total land capture, all that stuff, and then I deleted it. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to end this with a contact me form, right? A lead form here. I'm going to put that at the bottom. And the lead form, I'm going to put in here, fill out the information down below, right? So that we can talk. So I click configure widget, come to lead form, and I can give it a name. So instead of interested, let's talk, to get the most accurate estimate of your home, please leave your information and address below. So it doesn't look the prettiest because he threw me on the spot, but it would be an image of something about value of your home, or could be a video. If you already had a video around like what are home values, you could technically add a video widget as well. Might be a better way than just a picture. Then I would have some information down below, fill out my information, leave me a note, comment, and then I can publish that page and send it out there. That'd be one example of what I can do. What I also like though is like capturing people I don't know. So a good example of that right now could be, here's what I just did. Who wants selling leads? I do. Here's 2 pages I created. This one's for a listing that sold in 7 days. So I wanted this to be kind of like a come here and learn information about the home. And I created this landing page to go to after I ran a Facebook ad. We sold it in 7 days. There were multiple offers and it went under contract in 7 days. We have buyers looking. Are you interested in selling? Call me today. And the page is just a widget of the listing itself, so they can look around and see. But the goal was, I have buyers. Do you want to contact me? The other thing I've used it for, open houses. So here's one for an open house that I did, which says, welcome to our open house. Has them register at the top. Please sign into our open house today at this address. So name, number, email address is kind of built in. Then it's going to give them the details of the home. So here's the picture of the home that I chose. Here's some details about the house and a little next button of all the photos, some details. And then this became the landing page that they go to. So I didn't have to print anything out. By the way, download my app today. I find this is probably one people would like to do the most. So I'll show you in less than a minute how to do that. So if I created a new page and I chose landing page, we can hit create today. Good news is I already have the address. So I'm just going to copy it and redo the same page. Copy. Okay, so I'm going to call it here, just so we know what it is, test open house. So we have widgets on the right. I like to start everything off with a branded header. So I click and drag that over, and we're going to fix this, see how it's updated in my information. Next, lead form. I want you to register today for the open house you came to. Okay. Scroll down a little bit more. You know what? I want to provide you details about the listing. So I'm going to put that below and we're going to fill in the details. Don't worry. The default is a generic Texas listing. We're going to fix that in a moment. By the way, I want to show that I have a local information. So I'm going to drop in market snapshot. I could put a video here if I wanted to. And I like to end with like a download my app. So if I were at an open house, you would register on this website and have access to the entire flyer right from here. So now I'm ready to configure this widget. So the branded header, great. Let's give it a title. Now here's the trick. I only have 30 characters. So I just say simply, welcome to our open house. There we go. It's already got my information right there. So save and apply, and the top part's done. Okay, next I come to this up button and go to next. Great. What does this say? So instead I'm going to say, please sign in. Welcome. Please sign in to our open house. Just as an example, save and apply. And now that widget is updated. Welcome to our open house. Please sign in. And they're going to type in their information below. Click the next button. Now I'm going to need you to find a listing. Here's the cool thing. If I browse listings, it doesn't have to just be mine. I can come in here and search by property address or any listing in America that I have permission to market. So since I have the address, I'll type it in. It is in a pending status, but let's see if I can find it quick. There it is. Yep, that's it. Mary Cotton's listing. I hit select, and here's my favorite feature of this. It has all the photos ready to go. So just pick an image that you like the most. So the home wasn't that pretty on the inside, but the location was great. So I chose location. That's all I'm choosing. And when I hit save and apply, watch this widget now. Give me the image that you saw earlier. So here's a simple image. And then there's the details of the listing automatically done for me. Square footage, bedroom, bath, year built, the details, all the photos, all that information from the MLS is already built in. So I hit save and apply there. I go to the next button. Now we program the community. So it's in my neighborhood of Coral Ridge Isles. So I'm going to go ahead and put in there my zip code 33334. Welcome to Coral Ridge Isles. And then I'm going to choose the neighborhood from the list. So I'm choosing Coral Ridge Isles. There it is. Save and apply. And now that widget is updating to my neighborhood. So I really do like these widgets. They work well. It gives me some basic information. And now I just created one web page that has everything in it. The last one's the app. Download my app. I can also say, search by neighborhood. As an extra thing, put a little message if I want, download my app now, save. And I now have a page that's all done. So if I hit publish, make it visible to the public, it'll show up in my landing pages now. Here it is. And this is the public page that I can use in an open house. Welcome to our open house. Please sign in. I'm going to go ahead and say my name is Jay Cermak. Just since we're here, I'll put my email address so I can show you this works. That works. And then this is a test. I have to say I'm not a robot. Click send. And here's my favorite feature. You're gonna see, I'm gonna get a message. Ta-da, new information, new lead captured on Kelly.
Sweet mother of pearl.
It came through. Now I have that, I have a lead, and it went into command. So there's a lot of things that you can do. It is a lot of information, so I would pick a focus. Don't do it all at once, right? What's your biggest focus? Just sharing my app, getting people to have that experience? Is it my website? Do I have an open house coming soon and I want someone to register on my open house and share that? That website, by the way, I created a QR code for free. Just Google QR code generator. I use a free one, put the link there, and I made them scan a QR code at the open house, because here's the reality. What do restaurants make you do for the menus right now? Some places scan the QR code. We've gotten used to it during COVID. So they'll do it. And then I made them register on there to make sure they get it. I could also just say I ran out of flyers at the open house, but I can give you my app. What's your phone number? I'll text it to you. Then make them register while they're there. And congratulations, you have a new lead in command. They got bonus information today, Ryan.
You're the man, Jay. Good job. Appreciate
Did
it.
we provide value today, guys?
So when can we rewatch these outstanding tutorial videos? Because there's a lot of stuff here.
There
Yes,
was.
there is a
So
lot.
I do have a lot on my YouTube. I know there's a lot also on KDB Connect is a good resource. I would pick what's your biggest priority, stick with one at a time, right? That, by the way, didn't just happen overnight and I turned them all on at the same time. That website took me just months of adding something new and what else do I want to do? The app was the biggest one, because to me, you need the website, you need the app, but the app does a lot more cool things than the website, honestly. No one's Googling, how do I find Jay's website? I need his website today. But the app's in my palm of my hands and I can give it to people. So I'd make the website just to make it, but I'd focus your energy on the app, because that's the device they're on, by the way. If I'm at work searching for homes, I'm not on my computer going, oh, let me find a house while I'm working. I'm pulling up my mobile phone, looking at Zillow and seeing what's available.
I think people get too stuck on our websites.
Yeah,
Especially
and
when-
Ariel put in the link also that the video of what we taught today will also be out there, so you can watch it and pause it. So a lot of what I teach agents to do is take any of the videos you're watching today and then follow along, like pause, play, and follow along and do it. Because it's great information, but if you don't take action, it does nothing for you and everything for me. Because I'm working it.
Just give me some time, because I have to go through and do a little bit of editing, and then I'll make sure I get out some of the music and some of the extra stuff that you don't need, and then I'll upload it. And anybody who's ever uploaded to YouTube knows it's not always the fastest process. You gotta wait for it to code and all that. So just give me a little bit of time. I'll do my best to make sure everything's up there no later than Friday.
It'll be done before June, I can promise you that. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much. I hope you got value.
You did a great job. If people want to send referrals to you, how do they do so?
Yeah, so you can use Kelly and find Jay Cermak. We're in Fort Lauderdale, so always happy to help you. And you can also just find me. You got my website, jteamglobal.kdb.com as well.
Awesome.
Thanks,
So guys,
guys.